everyone, Breanne here from Pigment, and today I'm going to be doing a tutorial in parts, and the parts are going to consist of different elements for summer. We're doing a little summer feature here. So I'm going to be doing a sunset, which is going to be in the background here. And then I'm also going to be doing water. There's not a huge water feature here, but just to do how the light kind of hits off the water would be nice. And then also I'm going to do the foliage and the flowers and the boat, but that's going to all be as one separate feature. So I'm going to get started here, and I'm going to pick a nice summery palette. So maybe I'll go to my colors, as I've developed so many different palettes. And maybe I'll start, I always go to the peacock or the hummingbird. They're great. Maybe I'll use the hummingbird because I used the peacock before for many things. Okay, so let's start. I'm gonna get some background colors in place. There's many ways that you can do that. There's a large selection of tools. I tend to use the fade and the bloom a lot, but I'm gonna try something different today and maybe go with the pillow. So with my orange kind of in a little bit more towards the lighter side of the spectrum here, I'm just gonna hit the middle of the screen. It kind of lightens up. I just want to bring down the opacity just a bit. Try the yellow, bring down the yellow. And we're gonna get this lighter area going darker on the fringes. I'm just gonna play with color tad. Maybe darken up that blue. Because I do want it to be a little bit darker towards the edges. I'm just playing with it here. I don't usually do this method for backgrounds, so I'm just trying something new. I'm just gonna leave it actually that way for now. And I'm going to go to my airbrush and just kind of work with some colors in the background here. So what colors are typically in a sunset? Good question. Well, just think of, you can even use pictures for reference or your memory. And I find that there's pinks, oranges, sometimes a nice kind of blue that kind of settles in there, but mostly I find it's oranges, yellows, and pinks. So we're gonna start there. I'm gonna bring my brush size all the way up. And I'm just gonna start kind of putting in some orange. I'm pressing very gently. I'm not pressing hard at all. Now I'm gonna take some pink. It's like a light pink. Opacity and brush size are all the way up. And we're having fun playing with color for what will be our sunset. Now I'm gonna grab this darker pink to get those nice pinky hues in there, deepen it up. I'm gonna mix some orange in there. And you can just play with it as you go until you achieve what you're looking for. Now I'm grabbing the yellow. I'm using a handmade palette here, hand-picked palette, I should say. And then I'm going to just kind of get a little bit of blue up here. I don't want too much, and maybe a little bit of purple. I really honestly love coloring sunsets. So I kind of want a bright yellow here. Some blue. I'm just pressing very gently to get these colors in place. I am not pressing hard at all. I find that there's two really great tools for sunsets that I find work fantastic. You can use airbrush like I'm doing right now, and the watercolor is also fantastic, especially when you're trying to input clouds and whatnot. It's amazing. I'm just using the airbrush this time, but I have used watercolor many of times for it as well. So I'm just kind of adding streaks going through the sky on a little bit of a lower brush size. Just kind of want to get those natural streaks that you just kind of get in the sky as the sun sets. You see the deviation of color. And then we're just working it in. You see how we're getting these nice variations of color? But it's all kind of what you would naturally see in the sunset. As the sun starts to set, the colors start to get really bright around the base with the oranges and pinks and all those fun colors. And then as you kind of work your way out, you kind of see the sky getting darker and setting. So I'm liking how it's looking so far. And we're getting some nice layering of sunset colors here. Now towards where I'm going to make my sun, I'm just going to bring my airbrush up a bit and just kind of So we're getting this kind of variation of light going towards the sun's going to be right about here. So that's why I'm kind of doing my darker, then get these little pink hazies and these nice oranges that kind of filter out from the bright of the sun. Now to do our sun, I haven't quite 100% decided how we're going to do this. Maybe try the plasma and see how that works. Now the plasma can be used for a lot of cool special effects in your pictures. I'm going to bring it up to, let's say, 40%. Just going to bring this down a smidge. And then I'm going to press ever so a little bit of medium pressure towards the middle and lighter as I work my way out. And then you're gonna get this, and also I'm using a pale spectrum of yellow from this dark yellow here. And then the light kind of filters out but starts out strong here. I just want to try and get it a little bit darker here, like a little bit with like a light burst almost. Light will trail upward a bit. I'm going to bring my opacity up. And you kind of have these ripples of light coming from the light source that you've created. I'm just trying to get my sun a little bit brighter here. Not that bright. And then I'm just kind of making these ripples in the sky as we go to show that the light is setting. You can bring up your brush size and actually make it a little bit more hazier, like almost like clouds drifting. You have to press very light for this effect though. You can't press hard, but you can make these look almost like fading clouds. I don't think I like the top one that much. Okay, so you're kind of getting like this ripple effect of the light going outwards. And then I'm just going to kind of filter some of this light throughout the sky, but not hard. Very, very gentle, just to show that it is traveling outward. Now, if you want to add a little bit more spice to the sun, we can get a little bit of a lighter orange here. I'm going to grab this one from the peacock, and I'm going to try the glitter. I'm going to bring down the opacity bring down the opacity. The glitter is quite daunting if it's on a higher opacity, so you want to bring it down as much as you can. And you just kind of want to, it's going to be very subtle, but it's just going to add some light. I'm going to go to the lighter yellow now too. It's just going to add some light glitter to this sunset, a little bit of shine. And if you look, you can barely even see it. It's very, very, very subtle, but it just kind of adds a little bit, I find. Now we will go back to, we'll go to our airbrush, go to this yellow, or this orange, the lighter orange again. And I'm just gonna kind of overlap, make a couple of streaks with this light orange. I'm gonna grab the purple and bring it down to the lavender. And then I kind of want this darker orange again. I'm just trying to get my oranges in there and my pinks to kind of really, you can use the blender tool too. I don't find I really need it for this, as the airbrush blends very nicely. And there is, I think, a pretty beautiful sunset on the water. You can also, if you want to add a little bit of depth, you can also add a little bit of darker shade to your corners, as to show that night is on the way, folks. I love summer nights. So there we go. And that would be, I think, one beautiful sunset to witness. So this is gonna be part one. I'm just gonna fix this little part up here. Then I'll continue on with what I was saying. Just wanna add a little bit more light inflection here. So this is going to be part one of how to color everything summer. This is the sunset, and then I'm probably going to move on to the water and how to catch this reflection from the sun onto the water. So if you'll join me in a few moments, I will get that ready for you, and we'll get these elements going to paint a perfect, picturesque summer.